We all know this feeling, that feeling of just feeling bad about yourself, just feeling down on yourself. And today we're going to talk about ways to work with that. I'm Stacy Rocklein, and I help people write new love stories about themselves so they can break down their walls and live deeply connected lives. So we all know that feeling, and who even knows what gets it started. We might not catch it at that point in time, but we become aware, oh, I'm kind of bashing myself, and it's so uncomfortable and it feels terrible. So what do we do with it? The first thing you have to ask yourself is this: do you want to stop feeling bad about yourself? And that sounds like a super weird question, but it's not because of this. The reason we feel bad sometimes is because we see how we want to be. We see a standard that we'd like to hold ourselves to, and we're falling short. We're disappointing ourselves. And so we think that we need to bash ourselves, punish ourselves, so that we'll rise to the occasion. It feels like settling to love yourself right now and not punish yourself. Like we need that ego hot on our heels or we're not going to get there. So you do have to ask yourself, are you willing to let go of the self-bashing? Do you even want to? And I'm here to tell you that you can love yourself right now and you can stop feeling bad about yourself and still hold that standard. But you have to decide you don't need the punishment as motivator, the internal punishment. Then you have to decide how you're going to work with it. So here are 3 different possibilities. The first is getting deep in what's going on in there. Let me give you an example. Let's say that my ego has decided that everything I say has to be smart and clever. Okay? That's a box. My ego just put me in the everything you say has to be smart and clever box. So now, what happens when I say something ridiculous? Well, the ego throws a temper tantrum, right? Get in the box, get back in there, Stacy. And so it chases me around and yells at me, trying to get me to do the right thing. Follow the rules, stay in the box. The ego thinks that box is safe and that anything else is unsafe. So you can work with what are your boxes and try to figure those out. Work with your ego messaging. We do that in the 21-day heart cleanse. What else you can do is that as something happens and you become aware that the ego's throwing a fit, you can pause and start to react differently. Okay, thank you very much, ego, but just because I said something ridiculous doesn't mean I'm not going to be okay. I'll be fine. We don't need to yell anymore. I got this, right? You start to create a habit of disrupting that right before it becomes something big or something more painful. Because when it gets away from us, then we're suffering for longer and maybe worse. So you want to do a habitual reaction to when your ego shows up to make you feel bad about yourself. And then finally, you got to be truthful with yourself. Are you doing everything you can to be the best version of yourself that you can? Now, if I want to say things that are smart and clever, but I constantly say things that are ridiculous, I constantly put my foot in my mouth, and I never filter and I never think first before I speak, I might want to take a look at that and put some kind of behavior in place that is different so that I can be that version of myself that I want, right? Still loving myself right here while I say the ridiculous thing, but starting to take action towards something else. So that's another way to work with it. So 3 possibilities: get in deep and figure out what those messages are, create a new habit for reacting to the ego's temper tantrum, and taking different actions if that one isn't serving the healthiest version of you. Thank you very much. If you'd like to join us for the next 21-day heart cleanse, you can do that at stacyrocklein.com/heart cleanse. And if you know somebody who would appreciate this message, please share. And thank you for watching.